is a content marketing startup that uses machine learning, social graphs, and advanced text mining technology to help publishers, retailers, and brands find the audiences most likely to meet specific business goals for their content. 2 years ago, the company received $9.1 million in seed and Series A round funding from various investors, including Aerosmith's Innovation Endeavors and Israel's Marker LLC. The company's CEO, Yaniv Makover, joins us in studio today. Thanks so much for being here, Yaniv. Also with us is Vili Abraham. Vili, we'll get to you in just a bit. But tell us how the technology works. What is this advanced text mining technology?
Thanks for having me, first of all. So we kind of like try to understand content in the new modern era. So we help one of the companies, for instance, the New York Times, which is also an investor of Keywee, find out what topics they should be discussing. So what should they be talking about for their business goals? So to get people to subscribe for the newspaper, to get people to read. And those topics are things that you can come up with machine learning and data. The second part is, once they've created stories, is who's going to want to read them. So for instance, if they're covering a new red wine, are people interested in the TV series Game of Thrones? Are they going to want to read that story about that red wine? So that's something that Keywee can tell them. And the third thing is, how do they package that content? So if they're writing a sports story, for instance, so one of the popular themes in sports stories is like what we have learned from, like a score or a basketball game. And so how to package that story so people are actually want to read it or want to see that video or everything. And you can use data today to help you do all these things.
Sure. And before Keywee came into the scene, what were the real challenges of marketers? Was it just a guessing game and how to get audiences and what topics to really hit on?
So I wouldn't say it's a guessing game. There are, there was always techniques and methods and data that people used for all that, for these types of processes. I think Keywee was built from the ground up for a world where people are consuming content in kind of like closed channels like Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat and LinkedIn. And in these platforms, there is a different data set, different aspects of how people consume content, and I think that's what makes Keywee a bit different.
And you mentioned the New York Times is a client, as well as they've given you funding as well. Who else are some big clients of Keywee?
So a lot, like CNN, NBC, AOL, The Journal. So I think most of the top 100 news creators or media outlets in the U.S. use Keywee now today.
Well, it's fabulous. Keywee is here in Israel and in New York, as we understand. Yaniv, thanks so much for this today.
Thank you.